Brought to you by Get Well Yoga. Get back to doing what you love.
Take a seat on the floor, or a chair is fine as well, as we start a centering practice. If you are seated on the floor, I do recommend you sit on a cushion or a blanket just so that your hips are a little higher than your knees. With your eyes open or closed, or with a soft gaze, can you sense the space in front of you? The space behind you, to your right, or the space to your left. The space above you. And feel the sensation of the surface that you're resting on. Can you sense your breath as you inhale or as you exhale? How does it feel? Is it smooth? Is it a little tight, perhaps? Simply notice without judgment. I invite you to cross the palms of your hand and place it across your heart. How does your breathing feel this way? Do you feel the expansion of your chest, or the contraction? Let's take your right hand and place it below your right rib, the right ribs, and your left hand below the left ribs. How does that feel when you breathe in and out? Do you feel the abdominal muscles contract or expand as you inhale and exhale, or your ribs expand and contract? Well, let's take your right hand and place it behind your back rib. If you'd like to take both hands behind your back ribs, that's fine as well. Just notice any sensations as you breathe. Now let's take both hands and cross it and place it across your chest. As you inhale, let's open your arms out, bring it in front of you. Chest becomes wide, heart comes forward. And on your next exhalation, let's bring your arms back. Tuck your chin in. Inhale. Expand the arms forward, widen the chest. Exhale. Cross the arms, hands back to your chest. Inhale. Arms open out wide, heart forward, and exhale. Arms back to your chest, chin tucks in. Well, let's bend the elbows. Bring both palms up to the sky. And raise your right hand and look up at your right hand as you stretch out that right side of your body. Let's take that arm back down and raise the left arm up to the sky. Look up as your left side stretches out. Let's take that back down. Bring the right arm back up. Palm faces up to the sky. Stretching the left side of your body. Stretching from the waist up. Exhale, come back down. Let's lift the left arm up, palm long, and come back down. This time, let's keep our elbows bent by our side. Bring the elbows behind us as we inhale, and as we exhale, let's extend the palms forward. Let's bring the palms back, your arms back, elbows bent, elbows behind, and exhale. Let's push the palm forward, and inhale. Exhale, push out with the palms of our hand. Inhale back to center. And palms back to your feet, your legs, side of your body. I invite you now to lie on your mats. If you have a blanket or a towel, see if you can just roll the towel all your blanket. And we're going to lie on the rolled up blanket. So the blanket will be just right below your underarms. So you have a slight back bend. Bring your arms to a T position. If you don't have a blanket, it's okay just to lie on the floor. Your knees are bent. You can rest your knees on each other. As we inhale, let's inhale from the top of our lungs. For 3 counts, inhale the top of our lungs, the middle of our lungs, and the bottom. And exhale from the bottom, the mid, and the top. Inhale the top, midpoint, and bottom point. Exhale, bottom, mid, and top of our lungs. This time, let's take both arms and lift it up so your palms face each other. Now you're welcome to keep your palms on your side if you'd like your arms in a T position. And let's cross the arms so your palms are resting on your elbows. As we inhale, let's take the arms over our head and exhale in place, and inhale from the top of your lungs, mid lungs, and bottom. Exhale, bottom, mid, and upper lungs. Once more, inhale top, mid, and bottom. Exhale, release from the bottom, your mid lungs and your upper lungs. Let's bring our arms back to a T position. Just notice how you feel. I invite you now to see if we can just remove that blanket to the side as we lay back on the floor. Bring your left knee to your chest. Place your both hands on top of your knee. On your next exhale, twist over to your right, keeping your right hand on your left knee, and your left hand is in a T position. Exhale, let's come back to center. Lift that left leg up to the sky. Bring both the arms and rest that in the belly of your thigh. Just lengthen that leg. It's okay to have it a little bent, that's all right as well. Knee back to chest. And extend that left leg back out. Let's take the right knee back to chest. Take your left hand and place it on your knee and twist over to your left as you bring your right arm to a T. Look over to the right. Let's come back to center. Extend that right leg to the sky. Holding on to the back of the belly of your thigh. Knee bends and extend the right leg back out. And let's come back on. Back to the your knees and your arms are lined up as we come into cat-cow. I'll face this way so you can see me a little bit better. Inhale, heart comes forward. lower back. Inhale, heart forward, chest forward. Exhale, round the upper, the mid, and the lower back. Tailbone back down to the earth. Inhale, let's chest comes forward, head comes forward, and round. Upper, mid, and lower back, tailbone back down to the earth. Let's do this once more. Inhale, and exhale. Round your back, tailbone back down. On our next inhale, let's look over to the left of our shoulder as our right hip goes to the opposite direction. So inhale, let's look over our left shoulder, our right hip is in the opposite direction. And exhale, let's come back to center. Our next in-breath, look over our right shoulder. Our hips are in the opposite direction. And exhale, back to center. Inhale. Exhale to center. Breathe in. Look over to your right. Exhale back to center. Let's move our way up to standing position. Bend your knee. And slowly come back up.
And I'll adjust the cameras here. Sorry about that.
Let's take our legs a couple of feet apart. Bend them slightly. As we twist to the right, our right arm will be going to our left. So we'll be just moving. Slow movements. Your knee bends slightly. Let's do one or two more. Slow it down. Here, let's bring our feet back so they're lined up with our hips. We're coming into a dynamic warrior one. So let's take our right leg and bring it behind us. So your both legs are about hip distance apart. Your front leg, your knees straight. As you inhale, let's bend your knees Bring both arms forward, palms face each other. As we exhale, let's bring our arms into cactus. Our front knee straightens. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, palms face each other, and exhale. Elbows are bent. One more. Inhale and exhale. Let's get our front leg back, bring it back to meet your right leg, and let's take the right leg and bring it behind us or in front of us, depending upon where you are in your mat. Inhale, bring both arms forward, bend your knees. Exhale, come to a cactus posture. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And exhale. Let's bring your front leg back to meet your other leg. And sweep our arms out and release. Sweep our arms out and release any tension. Once more. Arms out and release. And this time, arms out, palms together, hands to your heart. Thank you for practicing with me, and John will share some practices with you right now. Thank you.
All right, thanks, madam. Well, our focus is still on respiratory health. If you joined us for the 9:30, we'll continue that respiratory health, and I invite you to just tune in with the breath. See if you can let the breath guide the practice as we just circle the hips a few times, releasing any tension in the hips and lower back. Nourishing breath through the tip of the nose, and as you breathe in through the tip of the nose, the Brahmana breath, the sense of vitality, see if you can use a full diaphragmatic breath, meaning that we're not just breathing in our chest, we're breathing in our diaphragm and our chest, the full diaphragm, the lateral side of the body, and of course the lungs come all the way down to the kidneys almost in the back body, and all the way up into the shoulder head. So when we talk about a full diaphragmatic breath, we're talking about the belly, chest, the sides, and the back body. Then in the opposite direction as we circle the hips a few times. I've been sitting there for a while, so it's nice to circle the hips. Then isolate the movement just to the lower back. So the upper back is fairly still. Imagine drawing a circle with your tailbone between your feet. You can even close the eyes and perhaps visualize the tailbone drawing the circle between the feet. The upper back is fairly still. And then in the opposite direction a few times. It's not how it looks, it's how it feels. Inhaling the Om Miri Yu, the right hand is at the lower dantian, the palm faces up. Inhaling, left arm comes up, and slowly on the exhale, see if you can begin to lengthen the exhale here. Bottom hand raises as the other hand palm faces up. Exhaling very slowly. Slight bend of the knees. We're making a ball of energy between the our points here and the palms. Lengthening the exhale as the hand ascends. Inhaling a nourishing breath, bring the chest, belly, side and back body into the breath. Exhaling very slowly through thick air. Lengthen, deepen, and slow down the breath. Wonderful centering exercise. If you're feeling a little bit out of sorts, mind may be distracted. This is a wonderful moving meditation, centering exercise. We're bringing and including the breath. Last one. As we take both arms forward, the left arm travels back behind us and then comes forward about shoulder height, and the hands slowly come back down on the exhale. Opposite hand raises now back behind us. Begin to bring the hip along with the shoulder. Arms come back up shoulder height. Exhaling back down. Nourishing breath, painting the rainbow. This movement is called. As we look back, perhaps at the hand that's coming back behind us, starting to bring our hip, there's a slight twist, an axial rotation of the spine. Exhaling. So here we're emphasizing the Brahmana breath. Nice vital breath, inhaling, then now exhaling, soothing, as we lower the hands slowly back down towards the earth. Inhaling a nourishing breath through the tip of the nose, chest gets bigger, bring the hip along for the ride. Excellent. We slowly lower back down. Backs of the hands travel forward. We're about hip width, shoulder width apart in the stance. Nice relaxed stance. See if you can bring in that sense of relaxation. The wrists are bent here, and we're taking the hands back down and then standing tall. See if you can lengthen, begin to lengthen up through the spine, out through the crown of the head. Use the eyes of the palms down to the earth to get that sense of lengthening through the spine. Bending at the knees, the backs of the hands travel forward. Exhaling, eyes of the palms descend to the earth as you lengthen up through the crown of the head. Inhaling and exhaling very slowly as you lengthen. Moving with the rhythm of your breath. You could be moving at different times. Bending at the elbows and wrists. Exhaling, coming forward. As we raise the arms now, I'm going to look underneath the raised left arm. I'm mirroring you. And then the hands come back down alongside the torso. As we raise the arms, we look in the opposite direction underneath the raised right arm. Flying through the mist. This posture is called. So we visualize flying through the mist of a mountain, perhaps. If you're feeling quite strong today and you want to challenge yourself further, as you inhale, taking the arms forward, I invite you to raise the heels off the earth. Slowly coming back down. Nourishing breath, chest gets bigger, heart gets bigger. Inhaling through the tip of the nose, exhaling. it's fine to keep the feet firmly on the earth as well for balance. If you want to challenge yourself, perhaps raising the heels. Last one. Wonderful. We come up in a clearing gesture, releasing that last movement as the hands come down through the midline, about an inch or two apart. There's no hurry. Again, lengthen the exhale. As the stork spreads its wings, the right hand descends as the left hand extends up to the heavens. Exhaling slowly back down through the midline. Begin to slightly twist through the spine as we look up at the leading hand. The opposite hand comes down through the midline. Eye of the palm towards the earth, eye of the palm up to the heavens. As we slowly twist through the spine. Nice lateral stretch here as well through the side body. Last one. Beautiful. Hand comes slowly back down through the midline. Once more, just circling the hips a few times, releasing any tension in the hips. And preparing for turtle drink. As we take the hands to the iliac crest, I invite you to take the thumb into the sacral iliac, almost here at the lower part of the spine. So it's nestled in right above the iliac crest there, at the top of the pelvis. And those thumbs are going to help as a reference point to guide us forward. As we bend from the hips, the head goes no lower than the heart. Energetically tucking chin to chest, come up to standing with the chin into the chest, and then slowly unfurl all 7 vertebrae of the cervical spine. Inhaling, exhaling as we bend from the hips. So rather than sending the tailbone all the way back, can you extend out through the crown of the head, tucking the chin energetically, coming to standing with chin into chest. Inhaling fully, exhaling as we slowly bend from the hips. Keeping a flat upper back. There's a tendency to bend from the mid-back. See if you can keep the back as one unit. Chin comes to chest, standing tall with chin to chest. Slowly unfurl the chin up to the heavens. Turtle drink. Use the thumbs into the iliac crest there in the back to help draw the hips forward. Chin to chest slowly unfurls. Last one. Really great for mobilizing the cervical spine and the mid-back. Wonderful. As we take the hands up in a clearing gesture once more, down through the midline, slow down the breath. This is a nice, slow, long exhale. Beautiful. Well done. As we come into a little bit wider stance, about hip width, a little bit wider than hip width, shoulder width apart actually. And there's a bend in the knees as best you can today. Now, if that's, I applaud you for knowing your own bodies and come out of that. If that's too deep a stance and you're feeling any pain in the lower back, just narrow the stance. Otherwise, we're in a posture here of a low crouch. We're in goddess stance or kibahachi in the dojo in martial arts. And the right hand comes to the hip. We're making a firm fist and we're inhaling and extending the arm up to the side and gathering a ball of energy and drawing it back into the body. The hands come to the hips. As we extend out through the other side, imagine grabbing or taking a ball of energy into the body. Inhaling Brahmana breath, inhaling a nourishing breath. Exhaling. Inhaling, gathering energy. Exhaling and extending. Inhaling and gathering. Culture is at 90 degrees. We're either moving forward or back. We don't do enough lateral stretches. This is wonderful for the hips, of course, to get these lateral movements. The hips are designed to move this way. The entire body is really designed to move this way, but we're either seated at 90 degrees. Even when we exercise, we're walking forward and back. We're not doing enough lateral movements. Shaolin punch. Gathering in energy. Wonderful. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture once more. Slowly back down through the midline. Feet walk together about hip width, shoulder width apart. So we do an exercise for our posture. Really important for respiratory health. Often when we're slumped forward or flexed forward, we limit the amount of breath that we can take because the diaphragm is crunched forward. So if we draw the spine back to its natural position of extension, extending the arms up to a Y shape. See if you can release the shoulders, even though the arms are raised. See if you can relax the shoulder heads, the jaw, and lengthen. Feel a length through the torso, perhaps through the front of the torso, through the sides of the torso, and even up through the back, all the way out through the crown of the head. Spread toes wide, elevate toes off the earth and place the widespread toes back down, root into the earth and extend out through the fingers, out through the crown of the head. Then we draw the elbows down towards the earth in this cactus shape, a W shape, if you will, with the arms here. And see if you can release the shoulder blades back and down. Soften jaw, soften face. See if you can find ease within effort. Then making an L shape with the arms. And imagine here some isometric tension. So we're imagining a ball of energy and we're feeling some pressure on the outside of the arms and in the inside Lagao points there. Slight bend, try and come back into that sense of relaxation. But being mindful of this ball of energy that we're compressing between the palms. Drawing shoulder blades perhaps back and down. Spread toes wide once again, and then place the wide spread toes down to earth and give the ball a little squeeze here. So we access the teres minor, the only rotator cuff muscle that's not attached to the scapula, to the shoulder blade. It's a wonderful way in which we can begin to strengthen that rotator cuff muscle, helping our posture, and then taking the arms back to a T position. Extend out through the eyes of the palms, out through the fingertips. Grow long again, out through the crown of the head. And slowly releasing the arms back down. So to recap, we did a Y, we did a W, we did an L shape, and we did a T shape. You can think of the acronym, You Will Live Tall. U, W, L, T. You will live tall. Wonderful. As we take the front foot, let's do the right foot, I'll mirror you forward, and the left foot back. Now again, if you've got any hip discomfort today, don't come so far back in the stance. See if you can shorten that stance. We're still keeping a nice heel to arch alignment here as we prepare for warrior two. We're gathering energy. We're going to do this dynamically. So a nice way to come into a warrior two is through this movement of gathering in energy, because we're creating some agility here. We're loosening the joints before coming into a hold. So we're activating the fast twitch muscle response, great for agility here. Gathering energy. And as we take the arm back behind us, we come into a hold into warrior two. And we set our focus right over the middle finger. Fingers are together. And then see if you can relax the shoulders away from the ears. Making a firm fist, both hands make a firm fist. The back hand comes behind the lower back. And we're twisting now. And a slight back bend as we set our focus over the fist out to the side. Coming back to warrior two. And holding. And moving gracefully to the other side, both feet face forward. We take the left foot forward now. The back foot's at a slight angle. Again, just your stance. If there's any deep impingement in the hip, we want to create space here between the pelvis and the top of the femur, the greater truncator. We want to get a little bit of space there rather than pinch into there. That can cause a lot of pain and impingement. So I invite you to find something that creates that space there and lengthen through the torso and the lower part of the thigh to do that. As we bend deeply in the front leg so that the knee is aligned with ankle, and we're just gathering energy here. Preparing for warrior two. Moving dynamically. Inhaling. Bring the hips, shoulders along for the ride. Backhand now sweeps back behind us. We set our gaze over the middle finger. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Notice what's happening with the front foot. Are the toes gripping? See if you can release tension in the shoulders. Center the torso. There's a tendency to lean forward or back. See if you can keep the torso centered. Making a firm fist, the backhand comes to the lower back as we take the other fist out to the side, and there's a slight back bend here. Beautiful. As the feet face forward now, hands come back down. Well done, everyone. Down through the midline. And just walk the feet back together. And roll the shoulders a few times, releasing any tension in the shoulders and upper back. And then the opposite direction a few times. See if you can isolate the movement just to the shoulder head, so the arms and hands are fairly still now. And then independently rolling each shoulder blade back and each shoulder head back. So you're doing the backstroke without the arms. Then the opposite direction a few times. That should feel pretty good, huh? So we come to a smoothing, a chi smoothing movement. Coming back about hip width shoulder width apart. I'll mirror you. The left hand comes up to shoulder height and the thumb is at middle finger. Thumb firmly into middle finger at shoulder height. The right hand comes down through the midline, the eye of the palm releasing trapped and stagnant energy as it glides up to shoulder height. Thumb and middle finger come together. Left hand descends slowly down through the midline, and we're sending our weight into the leading hand as it comes up to shoulder height. Hand stays at shoulder height, arm stays at shoulder height as the opposite hand comes down through the midline. smoothing the chi around us. Think of the arms staying at shoulder height. If you get lost, the other hand comes down through the midline as the other hand stays raised at shoulder height. We're smoothing the energy around us and within us. Exhaling very slowly, releasing out through the eye of the palm any trapped and stagnant energy, the root of all disease. Last one. As we come back to a clearing movement, the hands point back behind us. As they come to eye level, the fingers face forward, and slowly on the exhale, hands descend down. Release and gather that energy into the lower dantian, sense of calm, sense of strength. Inhaling one more time, the hands come up. Fingers point back behind us, very slowly through thick air. Fingers point forward and slowly descend on a long, slow exhale. Releasing and gathering. Locking in that sense of calm, whatever your sensations are. Hands come to the heart. Just take the feet back to about shoulder width, hip width apart. And the hands come up to the Ming Tong space, just above the eyes of the forehead, and we look up and we seal in all the sensations of the practice. Seal in an intention for today as you go about your daily activities, or back in the States, as you go about your evening. Seal in that intention. Hands come back to the heart as we thank ourselves for taking this journey to nourish the mind and body and all those that support our practice. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Really great to see you. If you have any questions, we're available.
Hi everyone, thank you again for joining us.
We're available at getwellyoga.com, and there's a number of our classes posted up there under, I think it's what we do. And then there's an audio video section, and there's a number of classes that we've made recordings of, just like today, that we'll post up. Thanks again. Thanks for joining us.